Fun fact, everyone. Yes, I am starting with a fun fact as my hook. This is my video. I can do whatever I want. But did you know the idea of having Spotify wrapped in story form was created by an intern in 2019? You know how it has several story form pages much like Instagram stories? Yeah, that's what she came up with. An intern. From 2016 to 2019, Spotify would send you to a web page for your Spotify Wrapped, which is fine. There was really nothing wrong with the web version. It was pretty comparable to what you see today in the story form version, but maybe just a little more stripped back. But this new story form version within the Spotify app created this virality sensation that made it a bit easier to engage and share on social media. It blew up rap even more than it already had in the past, and allowed it to gain more popularity and awareness over time. Free genius marketing for Spotify. Now other music streaming platforms like Apple Music and Tidal are following a similar format. Nothing controversial about it though. But just thought it was cool that it was an idea that came from an intern. But you know what is controversial? Spotify Wrapped 2025, baby. The controversy started pretty early. And when I say early, I mean before Spotify Wrapped was even released. In the more recent years, Spotify Wrapped usually came out the last week of November. But honestly, who the is paying attention to that? Seriously, do people have this in their calendars or something? But Spotify was smart. Relatively. They made an announcement that you need to update your app. Wait, there's no date or even a mention of coming soon in this article. On their part, I guess just a nonsensical way of saying, hold up, hold your horses, guys. But what all these frustrated users didn't know was that they were impatiently waiting for one of the worst raps in recent history. I mean, come on, what the does this even mean? What are my top genres of the year? If you weren't constantly doom scrolling this past year, you may have missed that Spotify didn't have one of the greatest past years. Well, for the employees at least. In December 2023, they laid off 17% of their entire workforce, which ended up being about 1,500 employees in total. There's really no way to know, but allegedly this is one of the reasons why Spotify Wrapped this year was so bad. According to Spotify's very own R&D website, in 2021, it involved a company-wide effort of 300 employees across 20 plus different teams. You can almost piece together that there were likely some people that were laid off from this team from the 1,500 people in late 2023, or at least some of them. Not to mention the blatant use of AI in this year's Wrapped. Not that they were trying to hide it or anything. One of the new AI features within Spotify Wrapped was something called Spotify Wrapped AI Podcasts. This tailored your top artists and songs alongside with 2 AI hosts. How charming. Unfortunately, it's AI, so Spotify doesn't know exactly what it may bring up to you, even with safety measures put into place. A few users even had their podcast AI hosts mention that they had a sudden streak of listening to One Direction. The AI host would continue to prod and wonder if that coincided with the release of something, maybe a new album or a reunion. It'd be really awesome if that happened. It would be a great thing. Users were left unimpressed and uneasy with this since it's obvious it was due to the fact that something devastating happened to one of the members a couple months before this was released. One user and fan said it even left her close to tears. But hey, I get it, Spotify. It's AI. Sometimes it's just unaware of what it's saying, and it would be hard for them to put into all those safeguards in place to be able to prevent something like this. But maybe just don't use AI in this capacity. People were perfectly happy with the features that you had in the past that probably actually used human employees. It's gotten to the point where we can't even trust what is real because of the use of AI, like Mariah Carey. And no, it was confirmed that this was not AI. This was real. A big piece of Wrapped every year is the music genre piece. You get to see your top genres of the year. In 2021, you got to see your music aura based on genres and moods of your listening history. 2023, we had SoundTown, which showed users where other locations around the world had similar music tastes to you. All really cool features and unique to Spotify. Music genre categorization was a pretty popular data point among Spotify features and users. But this year's Wrapped really lacked in that area. In fact, you couldn't even see your top genres for the entire year. It just spit out random made-up micro subgenres for random months. So not helpful in the data we wanted to see. Allegedly, and take this with a grain of salt because I couldn't find a whole lot of info on this, but allegedly employees from the genre classification team were let go. This would make sense then why we didn't get to see these specific data points on genre. What I would recommend is hooking up your Spotify account to a platform called Last.fm. Seriously, it's such an awesome tool. And don't worry, it's very safe. It's been around for a really long time. You can see in real time your top artists, your songs, genres, and even can see the counts for all these. You don't have to wait until the end of the year to see these. Now, it has come to my attention that stats for Spotify.com exists, and you can get this same information too. But honestly, I absolutely do not trust it after taking a look at mine. It was definitely not accurate for me. Japanese house, Japanese EDM, as cool as that makes me sound, I'm pretty sure I didn't listen to any of that, let alone for it to be my top genres. Maybe songs' genres were classified totally wrong. Maybe that's why they ended up using completely fake, made-up genres. Honestly, these don't even begin to scratch the surface of what made people frustrated from this year's Wrapped. Some people claim they couldn't even get their Spotify Wrapped even though they know they had listened to copious amounts of music on the platform. Customer service couldn't even help them. And this has been a reoccurring issue even from previous years. I know this sounds like such a minor issue, and really it is, but I would be remiss if I said that it wouldn't make me a little disappointed as well. Users said their data seemed to be represented incorrectly, such as having top artists of people they've never even heard of, and knew they had particular artists that should have showed up in their top list but didn't. It's all speculation, so who actually knows? There were many people who came across errors. There were a lot less screen cards and pages than previous years. Some people claimed they didn't even get their podcast Wrapped, even though they listened to plenty of podcasts on the platform. And podcasts are a big deal to Spotify when it comes to competition with other platforms. They spend millions of dollars each year on podcasts. Honestly, there were just a lot of unhappy people this year. And I'm sure previous years there's been unhappy, frustrated people as well, but it just seems to be very much more amplified this year. Very much more. Is it enough to move people from the Spotify platform to another one? Maybe, I don't know. There were definitely users and talk of it though. I personally don't know if it's that big of a deal to me. I have been a Spotify user for over 12 years. And to be honest, no other streaming platform has really sparked my interest enough to switch. But when it comes to other platforms' Wrapped equivalent, it does seem like theirs were much better in terms of aesthetics and data points that people wanted. I mean, come on, look at SoundCloud's. Beautiful versus this, whatever you want to call this. Regardless, with all this Spotify Wrapped drama, I'll just keep my subscription. For now, at least. But I do think there are some glaringly bad problems with Spotify in the past years that could have me make this switch. But I wouldn't blame it on just Wrapped. It's kind of like moving from iPhone to Android. It's so hard to make the switch, especially after you've been using it for so long and so consistently like me. What do you think? Do you think Spotify Wrapped 2025 was as bad as everyone made it out to be? Will you be making a switch to another music streaming platform? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon to be notified of when my next video comes out. I periodically make videos on pop culture and nostalgic topics. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Bye.